One of America's most productive running backs is now in Morgantown, and you get to meet him right here on Locked On West Virginia. You don't want to miss this one.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up? Welcome back in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is going to be Locked On West Virginia. Appreciate you guys for joining in, man. It's going to be a fun episode on this one. Got somebody that I've been looking forward to talking to since he committed at West Virginia. But before that, this episode is going to be brought to you by Monarch Money, guys. If you want to take control of your finances, use Monarch Money with code LOCKEDONCollege, and you'll get 50% off your first year. Make sure you check that out, guys. But this is somebody who I've been looking forward to talking with for about a week now. He committed to the West Virginia Mountaineers just recently, running back out of Ferris State. But, man, he's had one hell of a story, one hell of a path to the Power 4 level, back to the Power 4 level, I should say. Let's talk with Kannon Katzer, man. What's up, brother?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad to see you, man. So, I was a whirlwind recruitment for you. I know that you had a lot going on there. We were talking the whole way. So, give me an idea of what that was all like for you. So you're obviously in the portal. You had all this success at Ferris State. You played one of the best quarterbacks in all college football, D1 or D2. What was it like playing on such a good football team? You got the brothers that go, the offensive linemen you had, they're going Power 4. You got wide receivers that are going Power 4. Like, you guys had a Power 4 team.
Yeah, we really did. It was obviously it was a lot of fun just winning those games with my guys. But yeah, like you said, the whole team dang there, Division I caliber players. So, at practice and on the when we're playing those games, it really we motivated each other and pushed each other just because everyone wanted to be good.
Yeah, and everybody was good. You know what I mean? You guys were damn good. You guys had a great year, obviously. But let's start back in Spokane High, man. Spokane, Washington is where you're from.
Yes, sir.
You kind of look like somebody that's from Washington for some reason. You amassed over 3,100 yards all-purpose, 2,500 rushing yards, and 40 touchdowns. What the hell was you on, dude? Setting a Greater Spokane League record for a single season. 2,500 yards and 40 touchdowns in a season. Is that real life?
Yeah, those are the stats.
Wow. That's insane, dude. I don't care where you're at. So you were named the Greater Spokane League 3A MVP. Is that the largest in Washington?
Yeah. So there's 4A, but that year they did 3A, 4A, and I was I think offensive MVP for the whole state of Washington.
Wow, brother, that's crazy. So you received no Division I scholarship offers after that? How's that possible?
Yeah, I was talking to a lot of schools, after my season, and then all the schools I was talking to just kind of went quiet, and then I think it was in February when Washington State had called me up and offered me that preferred walk-on, and I was getting ready to just go down to JUCO and try and battle that out of there. So ended up taking that walk-on to Washington State, and then that didn't work out, thankfully, because I'm here now. But then went to JUCO after that.
So you were at Washington State for 2 years, right? You were there as a freshman. You walked on in January, played spring practice, rushed for 71 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Crimson and Gray game. And then you didn't play in the regular season as a freshman. Redshirt freshman, you did appear in one game. You made your debut against Colorado State on September 17th, 2022. Seems like forever ago, I'm sure, for you.
Yeah.
6 carries for 54 yards, and you had a 24-yard run and a touchdown. So you actually got a touchdown in the Power 4 level. I think I looked back to that, and I watched the tape of it. You look like you belong to me, dude. I'm not just saying that because you're on here. You showed a lot of promise, and especially in the preseason, you climbed the depth chart. You got to the number 3 running back role behind Watson and was it Jenkins?
Yep, Jenkins.
And then you left the program. You hit the portal because they were pretty talented. I mean, and then did you play with Cam Ward? Was he there when you were there?
Yep, I played with him.
Have you ever seen a better quarterback than him?
No, I haven't. He's
that dude's so talented.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome on and off the field. So
yeah, you could tell. Like, unfortunately, at the expense, I don't want to bash their Sanders, but definitely he came away looking good in those exchanges.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree.
That's pretty cool, man. You got to play behind Cam Ward. Did he hand you the football?
What was that?
Did he actually hand you the football?
Yeah, he handed me my first college football touchdown. So I'll be able to hold on to that for a while.
That's wild, man. I guess I wasn't paying attention on the video I watched. I was only watching you.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, dude. Are you having trouble hearing me?
Not hearing you. You kind of keep cutting out back and forth, but I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or what, but it's good. It's been good for the most part. So
yeah. Guys, can you guys all hear me good let me know down below if you guys can hear me well. That way we know if something I need to try to fix or anything like that, which they're not saying anything. So maybe on your end, which is all good. Which is better than on my end, know. So they say it sounds good. Okay, cool. So let's get back to a couple of these questions, guys. And also what we're going to do on this episode, we're going to watch some tape because you guys know I'm a big fan of Cannon's tape. Where'd your name come from, dude?
Canon. It came from there's a beach on the Oregon coast in Oregon. It's Canon.
Oh, we all know about all that in West Virginia.
Yeah. So that's where my name came from. My parents when they were younger, they would go there a lot, and I guess that's where they decided to get my name from.
And what's the last name Katzer? What's that all about?
Katzer, it's German, so we're
okay. So mine is too Rockel, last name Rockel.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, is yours, do you know if yours has been Americanized or not? Your last name?
I couldn't tell you honestly. I probably should do some research on my own
yeah, Americanized is basically like, okay, we don't know how to say it that way, so let's make it easier for people that live here to read it and stuff. Yeah. So like my last name used to be spelled with like an C and an H and a couple L's.
Oh, okay.
And then they changed it to ROCK, literally rock. You know, so that's what they call Americanizing a last name. It happened to a lot of people. Anyway, so obviously then you get the portal there at Washington State, and I just want to say I came across some personal news here. Is it okay to talk about this, or would you rather not?
No, that's fine.
My biggest condolences to you, man. I coming across this, you overcome some serious personal adversity here, losing your mom, and I couldn't imagine what that would be like to an ATV accident. So, I'm sure that was hard for you, bro.
Mm.
I lost my dad, and I know what it's like to lose a parent. So, I just want to let you know I have a lot of respect for you coming out of that, and
I appreciate
yeah, no problem. So obviously from there you go from Washington State to Citrus College, correct?
Yes, sir.
What was that like, man?
Citrus College. I mean, everyone hears those JUCO stories and whatnot, but made probably some of my best friends there, down in California, and it was a lot of fun. Coach Haas.
You had production there.
Yeah, it was a great time. Some of my best and most exciting football memories was at JUCO. So.
And that's in California. So was it a little different living in Cali, or is it pretty much the same?
From Cali, so Washington State, you probably know this, but Washington State's in Pullman, and Pullman just like like super small,
like Morgantown kind of.
Yeah, Morgantown. I would say Morgantown is way nicer than Pullman. It's way nicer, but yeah, similar in the same, like how it's kind of a smaller college town. But so going from there to LA was definitely a big change, but it was a lot of fun.
Cool, man. So then you finally made I feel like was a game changer for you. Why Ferris State? What did they come after you tough out of JUCO, or?
So out of JUCO, I got a few, like smaller FCS offers and just like the smaller school offers, and then I was just kind of thinking like I didn't know if I wanted to continue playing football, so I ended up stepping away from football, and I started apprenticeship as a lineman through like a utility company back home in Washington. And then I was working there for probably like 5 or 6 months. And then Coach TA, which is the head coach at Ferris State, he had reached out to me, and that guy, he's probably the reason why I'm here, is because he just believed in me so much, and I really just needed a coach like him that did believe in me, and he called me, I think, in May, and he kept calling. He probably called me for like 3 months straight. He knew my like work schedule. Called me in the morning when I was heading to work, and called me when I was heading back from work, and then one day he texted, called for probably like 2 months, and I finally picked him up, and he just sounded really convinced. He's like, don't give up yet. He's like, come play here, win a national championship. And then, I thought about it for a few weeks, and then I called him up, and I was like, all right, coach, let's do it. So it was kind of like I really put or hung the cleats up for a little bit. I didn't think I'd play football again. So.
Wow, dude, what a story.
Yeah. So.
I mean, this is a crazy story, dude, for real. Like you've got almost a book going here, bro. Like you go from the best player in the state of Washington that nobody knows about, like nobody, because you're 5'9", right? You're probably what, 160, 170 back then?
I think in high school I was pretty close to being the same size, about 180, 185. So
okay, so
about
but you
10.
still were a little undersized, and you're white. Like that's listen. People can say what they want, but white running backs, white receivers aren't looked at the same. Athletically, right? They're kind of look like maybe they're too slow sometimes. So it's just a thing, right? It happens. So obviously, you see a lot of players get overlooked, and you were a classic case of somebody who's been overlooked that was much better than you were. I mean, look, I understand maybe you didn't go Power 4 right out of high school, but there's no way you shouldn't have been on a G5 roster or something like that right out of the gates, man, and let you develop, hone your craft a little bit. My personal opinion after watching tape on you, I'm no professional coach or anything like I say all the time, but I really think you shine through on tape, and that's like your best attribute. Like, just watching you on tape is the way you move on the football field, that vision, dude. Where does that come from? That vision that everybody talks about, like literally everybody that talks about you talks about your vision.
Yeah, well, thank you for all those things you said. But talking about vision, honestly, I don't know. I don't want to just say like, oh, I was, God gifted, but I feel like that's one thing that I feel like God definitely gifted me was with vision. But also, I've been playing football since I was 4 years old, so
right.
I think that goes to account that just playing for such a long time, eventually it'll just continue getting better. But.
Sweet, dude. Let's go to break really quick. On the other side, guys, we're going to do something fun. I want to have him break down some of his own tape. So we'll get to that next, guys. Stick around. This is Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by Supply House, y'all. We're talking about Supply House today. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades at Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources, latest product info, and help to get your job done right. You got a complete inventory of over 200,000 square parts, 400 top brands, and you'll find exactly what you need there, delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support, industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And if you're a trade pro looking for an edge or a hard edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, if you want to use promo code ESH-H-5 for 5% off your first order, you can do that as well. Do it now. Do it today. Do it at supplyhouse.com. It's segment 2, Cannon, and I got a crack a do as we pull up your tape, man. So your Ferris State tape specifically is disgusting. You had one hell of a year. You averaged almost 10 yards a carry, dude. Like, how's that happen? Obviously you had really good players around you. Yep. I mean, like I mentioned that on the stream, like it's not like you played on a team that was crap. Like you guys were, was you 14-1,
Yeah.
13-1?
Yep.
Just a ridiculously talented team. I mean, look at that offensive line. Looks like a powerful offensive line, dude. Seriously.
6'5", 300 across the board, just about.
Yeah. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me what we're looking at here.
Well, this is our dive play. We didn't really run this play at all the whole season. We pulled it out. We pulled it out for the playoffs, and it's really just the O-line kind of just wedges up the middle, and we just hope that something pops open. So we were killing teams all playoffs just running the same exact play.
Pretty interesting play too. I like how they bring the receiver in motion right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the O-line washes down. You've got several different motions going on. You've got this guy coming across Trinidad's face. He could hand this off. He could pitch it. I'm assuming there are a bunch of different options here. But what is your main read? Are you reading this backside defensive end? Is that your read?
Yeah, that's going to be Trin's read, is that backside. If he, comes up to the field, he's going to give it. And if he pinches, he's going to either, hand it off to Brady Hill, that slot coming across, and pitch it to him, or, he's going to run that option outside. But since he kind of was just waiting up on the field right there, he handed it off. And then, the big boys up front did their job, and we scored.
Nice play, man. I love that play. You had one hell of a day in the snow here. This was against Central Oklahoma, and this is a nice play. Big hole, obviously.
Yeah.
But one thing I noticed in this game is you were consistently splitting those safeties, man. There you go again. Look at the referees in the way. Pretty crazy, dude. There's a couple plays that I really wanted to get to. Here's another one, man. There you go, splitting safeties again. Safety in a corner, maybe. This is in the snow again. I think this is probably same team. Is this the one I wanted to talk about? Yeah, this is it right here. So on this play, this guy right here misfits the run, right? And that's how you break the big one.
Yes, sir.
So which play is this in your package you got?
It's that same play that first play you showed against.
That's what I thought. That's why I wanted to stop it here again, because you talked about this being a big one for you.
Yeah, a lot of these teams couldn't really guard it just because that triple option, hand it off, Trent could run or pitch it back to that slot coming across. But
yeah, look, here we go again. You're going right up the gut again, and this play here is really crazy, dude. Like, one of your biggest attributes is that contact balance. Obviously being 5'9" helps, right? But I mean, this play should be dead in the water here, bro. You're not supposed to get out of this, but you do.
Yeah, I was probably just as shocked as you were when you watched this. I was like, no way, I'm still going.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, dude. And like, you look at something like, and here's another thing you do well, out of the backfield. Where did you get some of this receiving skills you got, dude? Because you got soft hands. You really do a good job.
Yeah, I'd say at Washington State, probably that's where I developed my hands, the most. Just we did a lot of pass concepts, with Rolovich there being my the head coach that had recruited me originally, and then Eric Morris coming in on my second year. He's down at North Texas now, but both they like to pass the ball, especially getting that running back out there. So we worked on that a lot. So I'd give credit to those early.
So you're the first person in motion here in this play. Is this play designed for you?
This play, actually, this is supposed to bring that safety down so it can open up that one-on-one on the top of the screen for that wide receiver. But it looked like Trent had to roll out and quit looking at that guy because that end rushed up on him.
I mean, to be honest, you probably should have got the ball right there. Like it was late, but I mean, it worked out. But like nobody, like this is a blown, right? Like you're open. You're not supposed to be this open. And it's in this end, it's up getting pressure. So he doesn't see it by then. 22's looking at you.
Yeah.
But you're already moving at almost full speed. So he's even, you're leaving, right? So you get behind him, and it's over with. And then Trinidad Chambliss makes an incredible throw.
Yeah,
And then there you are with that contact balance again. You get to the end zone. It's a really incredible play, dude.
Wow,
Really incredible play. So I like this end zone shot here. Tell me about this play.
This play, yeah, we've got a guard and tackle pulling. They make their good blocks, and then really all I had to do was just read and then make that one guy miss.
This one had to go in your cut up, didn't it?
Yeah.
This slapping dude out of the way. So this one cracks me up because the referee is in your way again right here.
He was trying to tackle me all playoffs, I swear.
All playoffs, dude. Like there's like 3 or 4 games on here where the referee's in your way. It's pretty funny. So you've got it. Like if he's not here, look at all this open space you have between these two guys.
Yeah, it's a straight.
You split them and it's over with. Instead, you have to make this guy look stupid. It's just funny. And by the way, I love how you get inside of him and just juke his shoes completely out. Boom. Bye. Pretty good stuff, man. And here's the vision. This is what you've seen me talk about this on the stream, I think, but this is where I'm talking. This is what separates you, I think, personally. And this is why I think you'll be good in return game if they want to put you there. Because, right here, pause it. There's not a lot of room here. And a lot of guys would just keep going and get tackled. I think by these 3 or 4 guys, and it'd be a great play. But you know how to manipulate your speed, right? And you know how to kind of slow down and speed up to manipulate situations and angles and all that. And that's how you're able to get outside these dudes here. You use your blocker and you get up the field and gain 15 more yards. That's very valuable and something that doesn't get talked about a lot, right? So just my opinion. I don't know if that's how you feel, but
yeah, I appreciate it.
I know it's hard to sit here and be complimented in front of a bunch of people like this. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's easy. I know it's not easy for you. But you deserve it, dude. Like, here's another play I like a lot. So, in a sense, even though Trinidad Chambliss has to read that D end, you do too, right? I mean, obviously, as of right here, you're getting the ball. You know it by. This is actually a question I have. So, how do you know in these spread systems that you're actually going to get it, or do you not know? You don't know
when the ball's in your stomach and you can't feel like Trent's hands there anymore. That's the first time you got it. So you just have to run the play like you're getting the ball and just hope he hands it off. But this one, I mean, you see the DN just sitting there. He should have pulled it, but
you at least commit somewhere, right? If you stay in the middle, then what's that help, right? And obviously, like he's trying to, and there you go. You're too quick for that. You're going to get by him. And literally, this is another one that probably should have been stopped in the backfield. There's 2 guys. You should have been done. But you're quick, and they were late on it, really. So I'm sure you do something crazy. There you go again. Yeah, there's that vision again. I like to say about you is like, you're not the biggest dancer, right? You don't dance around a bunch. There's a play coming up here, which is, I think might be one of my favorite plays that you have on this cut up. But here's a great example of, it's not that you can't dance around. It's just you prefer to stick your foot in the ground and use your speed. At least on the cut ups that I've seen of you. But I mean, even right here, like if you need to get left and right and lateral, you can right here. Boom. And get extra yards for yourself. How do you, is that a decision you kind of made for yourself as a player to kind of be more of a one-cut running back? Or do you feel like you have it in your repertoire to be a little bit more of a dancey kind of guy?
I feel like my high school tape, I was like, I mean, obviously it's high school, so you can.
Right.
You can.
And that comes into play at the Power 4 level. You've been there.
Yeah.
Is it more difficult to be like that at the Power 4 level to dance around more? And
I would say, yeah, for definitely more difficult, just because everyone's speed, they're bigger and they're faster, and compared to high school, like.
So, do you think you're getting caught from behind on some of these plays at Power 4?
You think I'm getting caught on some of these?
I'm just asking you. Do you feel like, based on like Washington State, do you feel like those plays where you're splitting safeties? Do you feel like the speed is that much different to where maybe they would have been catching you on some of them plays, or is it hard to say?
I I don't know. I feel like if I'm too dancy, you know, it gives those time for those fast you know, defensive backs to
Right.
through you. So I feel like I don't like making any unnecessary cuts. If I can make one, you know, like lateral jump and gain 15 yards, and you know, I'm happy with that. You know, move the chains at the end of the day. So
Right,
I,
for sure. Yeah, I get that.
you know, I'm fairly confident if I, you know, get a nice hold down the middle, I could split the safeties, you know, at the power forward level. But in terms of being dancing and whatnot, I try not to do as much dancing, just to try and move the chains really.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, I think because you're gifted with both kind of. Yeah, this is the play. This might be my favorite play on the tape. You're supposed to be dead. I mean, this is dead. And maybe at the power forward level, it is. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't get out of it, but
Yeah.
certainly, you know, the play you make here, you know, this is supposed to be dead or at least stop short. I mean, they've got major penetration on the right side of your offensive line here. And what you do is you've got a great block from your receiver here, and you kind of use that to your advantage with this cut you make. Boom. And you get outside of these dudes and you turn nothing into something here. This is not supposed to be the gain it is. I mean, is that just instincts kicking in right there? Like
Yeah,
you had to make a quick decision. You
yeah,
didn't
just
have the ball for 2
really.
steps and you're outside. Pretty good play. All right. So I appreciate you for going over some of this tape with me, brother.
Yeah,
That was fun for me.
it's
I
fun
don't
for
know if it was as fun for you as it was for me. So let's talk. Let's go to break really quick. We got about 10 more minutes. You got 10 more minutes?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay. We'll go to break one more time. On the other side of the break, I got a couple other questions for you about, you know, how you see yourself at West Virginia, where you feel like your role is, all that. So we'll be right back, guys. Stick around. Thanks for watching, guys, and watching me fanboy out over here on tape, watching tape. Let's just Locked On West Virginia. We'll be right back. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by none other than Monarch Money. And we talk about Monarch Money around here constantly because if you've ever checked your bank account and wondered where did all my money go, you dining out, online shopping, entertainment, it's easy to lose track for sure. Well, that's where Monarch Money comes into play. Your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You track your accounts, investments, spending in one place. So you stop managing money and start building your wealth. All in one convenience, they've got it. Instead of juggling multiple apps, how about using Monarch Money to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan long-term goals? Take control of your finances today with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for 50% off your very first year. And we are back here with Kannon Katzer on Locked On West Virginia. Are you there, brother? Uh-oh. Are you there, Cannon? Well, we'll see if he comes back into play here, guys. Look at some of these. He might come back in. We'll see. Not exactly sure what happened there, but there he is.
Code.
All right, we got you back.
For some reason.
It's all good, bro. All right, we got you. So you know, just a couple questions here, you know, as we get to the end of this. So talk about getting recruited by West Virginia a little bit. Obviously, you're in the portal. You're being pursued by a lot of G5 programs. You're being pursued by, you know, some Power 4 programs. But what was it about West Virginia? Who reached out to you? And how did that all go?
Yeah, so I hit the portal February 5th. You know, being a D2 player, we could like hit the portal whenever. So hit it February 5th.
I didn't know that.
I know a lot of coaches were texting me. They're like, "Are you officially in the portal?" But anyways, so
tampering like hell.
nah, yeah, so Coach Porter, he reached out to me. He called me and just kind of like touched bases, like probably within a week when I had hit the portal back in February. And anyways, just talked to him, fairly briefly. And anyway, so I talked to him, and then I didn't hear back from West Virginia until about, I don't know, two weeks ago. They called me, and then then just started talking to them more and more, and then made sure my grades and everything like that, my degree, all transferred, and then they got me on an official visit. Went over there and committed. So
Awesome, dude. So you're going to join a running back room. It's got 6 players in it, right?
mm-hmm.
Obviously Jaheim White is the presumed starter in the room. But this coaching staff has been pretty open and honest that, yeah, Jaheim White obviously is probably the starter, but outside of that, it's anybody's game, man. Anybody can win any of those next 2, 3, 4. What did they tell you about your role? Do you feel like you have a chance to be the second string guy? Do you feel like you have a chance to even be the star? Like, what kind of expectations they're allowing you to set for yourself here?
We never really got into depths when I was there on my visit, but they just talked about their motto, earn success, and like you
Right.
mentioned, there are great running backs in that room already, and
For sure.
they're all super talented, and I also thought, if I want to be better, I know being in a room like that's already talented, it's just going to make me that much better. But I don't think I would have committed to West Virginia if I didn't believe in myself to get on the field this season. So I got a lot of work ahead of me, and just got to grind it out and know the playbook better than everyone else, and just do all the little things right. And I think that I'll definitely see the field.
So, what a couple? Listen, I've probably been your biggest defender. I have, because a lot of people don't look into it as deeply as I would.
Yeah.
I'm a nut job, anyways, when it comes to West Virginia. So, and I watch your tape, and I feel like you are a Power 4 player. I saw people say, he's transferred too many times, and I'm like, what? It's been from JUCO to D2 to like it's moving up. It's not like you're jumping program to program. How do you respond to that when you hear or when you see or hear people say things like he's transferred too many times, he may not be loyal, he'll come to West Virginia and possibly not even stay after we develop him, like that kind of thing?
Yeah. I haven't seen any of that stuff personally. I feel like as soon as I announced my commitment to like fans at West Virginia, like there's no other place I'd rather be. Just the fans have been so supportive and have been reaching out, and just I already love West Virginia. When I was day 2 of my visit, I grabbed wristbands and threw them all on before I did, just knowing that this was the place for me. And I know people could say like, oh, you may not be loyal, but really this whole time I've been just trying to find my last home. And like you said,
Right.
it's been like a ladder, from JUCO to D2 to here now. So this
Yep.
West Virginia has been my end goal since I was a little kid playing football. So they could say I'm not going to be loyal or anything like that, but
It was only like 1 or 2 people. It's not like
Yeah.
it wasn't a whole bunch of people or anything, but like I just saw that and I was like, how can somebody even think that? Definitely not the whole raw fan base. I wasn't trying to make it sound like that.
I didn't think.
I was just kind of using that to frame a question, but like, because I feel like that doesn't, if at the end of the day, man, like it is the portal era and people have to capitalize on themselves. If somebody offers you a bunch of money, like, I mean, there's not many people who are going to turn that down. I get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is ways to be loyal to programs these days too. It's just, it goes both ways, I feel like.
Yeah, without a doubt, I agree with that.
So I think you're going to compete for some snaps, dude. I really do. Now, I don't know, how many you're going to get this year, how many you're going to get next year, anything like that. But I do think you're going to hit the field. And I am really next year, especially excited about what you can grow into. Because you're really made for what they do in this offense. You really are. You're a one cut guy. that can get outside once you get, you figure out your lane. You've got 4.49 speed. We talked about that. So that's fast. And I really like your game, dude. You've got a little bit of nasty streak in you. Like you can kind of slap a dude up out of the way. Like there's a lot to like there, man. I'm pulling for you hard to kind of quiet some naysayers that say he was D2 or whatever somebody may think, because there are going to be people out there that think that, right? So
Yeah.
it is what it is, man. But overall, I think, you've overcome, a limited recruiting attention. You've had a personal tragedy. You've had to transfer multiple times. So one thing you could say about yourself, dude, is you're freaking resilient, right? You got a chip on your shoulder. And for me, I think that's a trait that's valued at the Power 4 level. You got versatility, rushing, receiving. You can pass protect. You're very willing at it. So I think there's a lot to like about you, man. I'm not trying to blow too much smoke here, but I'm just keeping it real,
Yeah, well, I really appreciate that, and for you advocating for me. So
that's just who I am, dude.
Every morning I wake up and the first thing I think about is like, man, I can't believe I'm committed to West Virginia right now.
It's crazy. Yeah. So did it feel like that when you were at Washington State too, a little bit?
My Pop Warner,
or was it because you were a walk on? A little different.
It's definitely a lot different. I feel like I've been working for this for so long, and there's always those days where you're like, man, well, is this all worth the work I'm putting in, and then just kind of seeing it to come true it's been probably one of the best feelings I've had for sure. But the crazy part too, before you end the show or whatever, but my older brother, his favorite football team's been West Virginia forever. So
is that right? So that's crazy, dude.
When they offered me, I called my brother David. I was like, David, I was like, you're not gonna believe it, man.
That's great.
He was giving me chills just thinking about it when I called him because he was so excited. So
that's awesome, dude. You gotta give him some tickets.
We'll get him down to a game or two. But not only me, but my family and everyone. We're just stoked to be at West Virginia.
We're gonna read a couple comments before we jump off here. We're a little bit over, but it's fine. Not a big deal. I do this. I go over all the time. It's it's just I'm supposed to keep it right around 30. I'm usually like at 40 though. I can't quit talking. Raven says your mentality fits West Virginia. She's one of my best moderators, very loyal listener. So appreciate her for saying that. Do you know Country Roads? Ranger Buck wants to know. Learning it?
Yeah, I'm learning that. Well, I listened to it when I committed.
I tagged you.
Yeah. I've been bumping it for a while now. So,
you got the lyrics down, don't you?
Yeah.
What version do you like best?
Don't test me yet. Oh, what version?
Mm-hmm.
Probably just the generic, just the original one.
The original, no, that's a good one. That's the one we like, man. Wait till you hear it with 60,000+ people, bro. It's good stuff. Have you looked at the schedule yet for West Virginia?
Yeah, I have.
So Jacob Yoho wants to know, and he's been with me for years. Jacob wants to know what game are you looking forward to?
What game am I looking forward to? I don't know. Really, all of them. I'm just stoked for all of them. But I think Colorado coming to West Virginia would be a fun game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too. Very underrated game on the scale. Well, it's not underrated. It's just that it gets, a lot of those games are getting overshadowed by Pitt. Because that's our biggest rival.
I know. I was gonna say obviously that's like the number one, but I feel like that's,
for sure.
That's everyone's number one. But besides that one, I'd say Colorado would be a fun one.
Pokemon Kid Entertainment's been with me for years as well. You check out the throwback uniforms they let go today.
Yeah, I seen it on Instagram, and funny enough is when we were walking into the complex on last Thursday, they were doing photo shoots, and the coaches are like, no one's seen him yet. Don't say nothing. So we seen him doing the photo shoot. So it's pretty cool to see him posted today on Instagram.
Ranger Buck says vision, balance, speed, chip on the shoulders with something to prove. Hard edge, baby.
Yes, sir.
We'll get to a couple more, and then we'll jump out of here. Drumwolf's been with me for years as well. Oh, that's not the question I was looking at. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one here. Hold the rope and spot the ball. There it is. We like it, Drumwolf. We like it. A lot of comments here, man, for you. So Sounds like everybody's really really excited about you being here. A lot of support for you, man, which is always great.
Yeah,
And we think you're going to be a true mountaineer, brother. So
it's awesome.
thanks for joining, man. I know I've been asking you for about on and off for about a week and a half or two or
Yeah.
whatever since you committed. So I think you were on the plane to St. Louis or wherever it was, and I was like, "Can you come on?" You're like, "I'm on a plane, dude." Like,
No, well,
so
thanks for having me and, just supporting me and,
yeah,
allowing me your platform and just being on here. All this stuff has just been such a blessing. So I really appreciate you.
yep, no problem, man. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen. You can do us a big favor, guys. Your second listen, check out Locked On. What is it we're doing today? Locked On NFL Draft, y'all. For your second listen, because Keith Sanchez and Damian Parson do an excellent job. And as your favorite collegiate players get ready for the next level, you can get the latest draft rankings, rumors, and news every day. Do us Locked On NFL Draft on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. And we'll see you on the next one, guys. Kannon Katzer, running back, obviously is now a Mountaineer. We're going to be pulling extremely hard for this one, guys. This is one of those ones that I feel like, it's easy to root for. So we're rooting for you, man. And thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen. And we'll talk to you guys probably. I might do another video today, depending on what happens. But if not, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your week. And we're out of here.